Well, it's late afternoon, Saturday, December 16th, and I think you can see the scenery here in my shop has changed a little bit. So I have this 500 SL in the shop, and we're going to be putting 2 battery tenders in this car. That's correct, 2, because this car has 2 batteries. I'll probably talk more about that in a later video. But watch what I had to do earlier today as we played musical cars here at the shop. And the moment of truth has arrived. We're going to try to see if I can start up old Jet here. That's what I'm going to call this car. I'm going to call this car Jet in deference to D-Jetronic fuel injection. All right, let's see if this thing will fire up. Well, it's not running on all 8 cylinders. I'm going to have to run it in the shop here a little bit because I've got the air suspension going to have to pump up. I did put 100 pounds in it with the air compressor. So let's... Oh yes, I suspect we've got some problems still with the Tinkertronic fuel injection. At this point, I'm going to try to get this outside so we can run it. Is it coming up? All right, success. The rear has come up. Oh, the front has come up. Oh, I gotta crawl in this baby. Oh, all right. Look at it smoke. Okay, now we're going to bring in the green ghost here. I need a diesel engine in the shop to do some testing on some instruments. This is an amazing engine. This thing hasn't started for a month and it turned over about 3 times and just fired right up. Watch this baby fire up. Oh, now that is a strong diesel. Look at that, the cap's not even moving. You're probably wondering why I drove this old diesel into the shop today when I've got so many other things I'm messing around with. Well, let me tell you, Jerson earlier today came up with an idea. We'd been thinking about this, but he said, hey, Kent, I think we can pull off building a kit which will allow you to test your diesel fuel injectors while the engine is running. And we're sitting there talking back and forth. Says, okay, we're going to need this, we're going to need this part, we're going to, oh, hey, we can pull this off. If the concept works, this is going to be great for diesel owners. They can quickly test the fuel injectors while the engine is running, do it safely, and they'll know whether or not they need to be rebuilt. This isn't going to help you rebuild them. You're going to still need a bench mount tester to rebuild them, but at least you'll get an idea how well they're spraying or squirting or not doing anything, okay? So this will also test a fuel injection pump. If you suspect, for instance, you've got a problem with a delivery valve, you can test 1 injector at a time. Now remember, you can only do 1 at a time. That's what we're gonna figure out today because you gotta be able to run the engine. It's not gonna run very well if you're trying to test more than 1 fuel injector. So this is exciting. When we come up with an idea for a new product, everything else stops. Everything stops and we go at it. I think for me and for Jerson, this is probably the most enjoyable part of working here in the shop. Now you have to remember it's been almost a month since I drove Fritz into the garage, so it hasn't run since then. Let's see how quickly it starts up. You know, remember this has been a really stubborn engine in the past. Whoa! I gotta say, that's pretty good. Look at that. Oh, squeaky brakes. All right, this is a happy Saturday. I got two of my rolling chassis outside enjoying the cloudy, semi-sunshiny day here in the Pacific Northwest. Wow. Let's open up the hood. Oh, could you grab the broom real quick and just sweep that baby?
So you're going to put the Land Cruiser in
No.
there? Which one? What car?
I can't get the Land Cruiser in with that on the lift.
The Land Cruiser is smaller than a truck.
Do we even need it inside though? It's not even cold out here. It's really great to have Fritz outside again too. Along with the 4.5, we're going to pull them up side by side and just admire them for a while today, as long as it doesn't rain. But listen to this engine. Man, it runs pretty sweet. Look how smooth that is. You can still hear that exhaust leak back there, and we're going to attend to that pretty soon. But, you know, take a look at that European headlight I fixed. Isn't that cool? So it's still idling a little fast. I'm going to have to do some adjustments on this, but I have a hunch this car is going to be a winner. So that was my goal this Saturday, to get both of these cars out of the shop and get them running. They're not quite ready for road tests yet, but we're getting close. I have a few things to do, like lights and other issues, but I am happy that we've got these babies running. And this one, by the way, is running very well. Okay, it's 2 hours later, and you can see we have a working prototype. What we decided to do was leave 5 injectors in the engine so the engine would run smoothly during the test. So what this means is you'll need a spare fuel injector to place in the hole when you remove the injector you want to test. And we've hooked up a T-fitting here, and here's the injector we're testing. Now notice I use my fume capture bottle, because that's one of the keys. You can't have raw fuel spraying all over the place. It's going to make a mess, and it's just terrible to breathe. So we're running 10 feet of hose way down the side of the car to take any fumes away, and I'm doing this outside, okay? So you can see we've hooked in to the top of the injection pump, number 1 delivery valve, come up to the T, gone over to our fuel injector that we want to test, and then we've taken this line and gone over and hooked up to the used fuel injector that we put in its place. This allows us to leave the fuel injector return lines in place so we're not spraying fuel all over the ground while we're running the engine. So I'm going to start up the engine now, and I want you to watch closely and see if we can get an idea of just how well this fuel injector is spraying. It's very hard to see into the bottle at idle, so you're going to have to race the engine up, and if you put a light on the back side, you'll be able to see the spray pattern a lot better. There you see it. Look at the amount of mist. You can see the injector squirting. If it were squirting badly, it would not be misting. And of course the bottle would be filling up a lot faster. There you can see. See the amount of misting that you're seeing inside that bottle? That's a really good sign that this injector is firing properly. After that little test, I think it's very obvious why I use this capture bottle and I have 10 feet of hose going down the side of the car, which are going to take those fumes away. That's producing a lot of diesel mist, and you do not want to be breathing that. So you're going to do these types of tests. You're always going to do them outside, and preferably with some wind. I think you can understand why Jerson and I are kind of excited about producing this kit. You know, there's some great potential here. There's obviously some bugs we're going to have to iron out. Whether or not we go into production on this thing, I don't know. But we're going to be doing some experimenting over the next week, trying to refine this and find out exactly what we can use this for to both test fuel injectors and the fuel injection pump. So it's approaching 4:15. It's starting to get dark outside, so I've got to get out there and move the cars around, get them put away, get everything closed up here, because this Saturday is coming to a close. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed... Yeah, I'm looking up the clock and it's approaching... Okay.
The gate was completely shot.
What? No. Hold on here. Oh no, I gotta. Well, here you can get in the video. Just keep working over there.